Did you have anything to repent before the state in prison?
Yeah, well, like I said in my sending speech, I was sad that people did get hurt that day.
Hmm.
Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greasom, Benjamin Phillips, they were killed that day. And so I'm sad that people's lives were taken. But I showed up that day to protest the stolen election, which we know was robbed from the American people. And I was utilizing my First Amendment right and making my founding fathers proud. And so what happened that day was rough. But I think it ought to happen a lot more often to hold the government accountable and remind them who actually runs the state, as opposed to the people inside that building that we all collected at 2 million strong on January 6th, 2021.
Let's go to that day,
Yes.
January 6th, 2021. And while we pull that clip, do you see the American Revolution in the same light as January 6th?
I think it's similar. Absolutely. But the interesting thing about that is that back in the Revolution, we were fighting tyranny from 3,000 miles away. Now I think we have 3,000 tyrants a mile away. And so that's our problem today in this age. The tyranny that we tried to unchain ourselves from back in the Revolution across the water has wormed its way here into our nation. So there's similarities, but our time is exclusive because it's ours.
Do we have that clip pulled up? This is from January 6th, clip 1. Where are you in this clip?
You can see my little afro poking out from underneath the MAGA hat back then. I haven't cut my hair since.
Which one are you?
Bottom right-hand corner.
Is that you in the bottom of the blue jacket, white hat?
No. That was me there.
Oh, it's
with the hat.
really right
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
You're taking a shield from an officer, right?
Yeah.
Is that a crime?
Robbery, is definitely something that I was convicted of and wouldn't recommend it. But like I've said in numerous interviews since, that though there were facts of the day that are visualized here in videos like this, there's more facts to be considered. Up until that point, the police had been attacking innocent people, provoking violence. And up until that video was shown, the shield wall that you witnessed is something that I actually asked people to create so that they could defend themselves against what the police were doing. And so with the federal informants in the crowd that have been confirmed, and with the Antifa members disguised as Trump supporters within the crowd that has also been confirmed, egging people on, instigating violence, and the Capitol Police officers and Metropolitan Police officers that were also instigating violence amongst the crowd, beating innocent Victoria White near to death, for example, in that very tunnel where I was. These are things that have to be considered when the law should be applied. You have things like crimes of passion, and this is, an issue that is, delicately considered. Well, when you watch women beaten to death in front of you, and you're also now trying to defend yourself and others around you, like your fellow man, I think that has to be considered as well when applying the law.
Let's take the look at clip 2. It's a little hard to hear, but tell me if I have this wrong. You are instructing a crowd to use shields against police. Quote, make a shield wall. Where's those effing shields? Let's go. Is that correct? Does that sound right? Okay.
That's me.
Make a shield wall. And the shield wall was against whom?
The Capitol Police officers and Metropolitan Police officers at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the purpose of making the shield wall against the police officers was for what purpose?
Defending our people.
Defending your people who
Absolutely.
are retreating or advancing?
I would say a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because as you can see, if you look into January 6th, there's plenty of video footage where the crowd will stop and will retreat. But then the Capitol Police officers will fire another flashbang into the crowd, where someone within the crowd will make sure that other people, like myself, are pushed into the tunnel. By the way, this is something that never came up in the court of law. I was pushed into the tunnel prior to this video ever being captured by someone who then mysteriously slips behind the police lines without obstruction at all, and then reemerges hours later in a different section of the Capitol. These aren't things that the media wanted to show you. But if you had that footage, it'd be a different story.
Well, I think everything should be recorded.
So do I.
Which is apparently being proposed in the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals
Go
right
figure.
now. But we're fighting. Do we have clip 2? Let's Let's play it. Pause. Pause. That's you just saying, where's those effing shields? Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are you going? What is this image of? Where are you going in right now?
So that's the tunnel. There was a lot going on that day.
Yeah.
We're under the impression that should we be able to go inside, we would be able to stop the proceeding of a fraudulent election. And I do believe that it is every one of our rights and responsibility to prevent an election that would end up being the result to kick off the Ukraine war, which has claimed millions of lives, kick off violence in the Middle East, and then continue to flood our country with millions of immigrants that are raping and killing our women and stabbing them on subways and lighting people on fire. And so if you think about it, the day looks rough, but the result of the Biden regime was a million times worse.
Did you think about the repercussions in this moment when this was happening? Did you think, ooh, I might be arrested for this? I might go to jail for this?
Well, it's interesting to consider because there were moments where, I thought to myself, man, like, what's going on here? I did feel emotionally hijacked. A lot of the videos that you've seen don't include the fact that there were people playing, bagpipes in the background, or people looking like they just walked out of some revolutionary battle with, playing the drums and stuff. And so there's a bunch of emotional stimuli. As a matter of fact, the chemical irritants that they used are exact same as the ones that are used upon infantrymen when they go through the school, like in the gas chamber. So a lot of the veterans in the crowd were actually chemically compelled into a fight or flight response. And so, yes, I was considering like, man, this is kind of crazy. But something also to consider, which I get into in the other book here, is that the entire summer of love, all of 2020, when we watched those Black Lives Matter riots, one goal that they might have wanted to accomplish throughout them all is to condition the mind of the American that behavior like this is okay, because we didn't see any repercussions for any of those peaceful protesters back then. And so when the MAGA community does it, we're subconsciously now conditioned to think that this is what we do in America when we want our way. But that's when the hammer comes down, when you wear a MAGA hat, as opposed to a Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
You mean in the court of law, where the judges?
In the court of law,
jury.
in media, in social media, everything that they could muster to ruin the MAGA movement, ruin Trump, and ruin my life, from top to bottom, was weaponized against us.
All right, let's talk healthcare, because the system is a total mess. Do you really trust your insurance company? You're paying outrageous premiums, and months later, the bills still keep coming. Confusing networks, denied claims, surprise fees, now rates they're saying might go up 20% or more. And did you know that medical debt is the #1 cause of bankruptcy? Those are some of the many reasons why I suggest switching from traditional health insurance to Impact Health Sharing. Impact Health Sharing is a powerful health sharing community that takes the middleman and the corporate profit-driven bureaucracies out of your healthcare and puts the power back in your hands. You can save up to 50% and get clear costs, real savings, and no woke nonsense. You can pick any doctor, no surprise bills, 24/7 telehealth, maternity support. Take control of your healthcare before the system decides for you. Go to impactomg.com to learn more and get your free quote in seconds, or call 855-378-6777 now. That's impactomg.com, impactomg.com. Impact Health Sharing, built differently.